Hi everyone. Welcome back to Woo Can Cook. My name is Wesley, and this is a show where we are slowly cooking our way through all of the food from my childhood. Today we're diving back into our series dedicated to Thai cuisine classics with a shot at a grilled chicken sauté skewer. For those unfamiliar, a chicken sauté is a diced and marinated chicken thigh grilled over an open flame on bamboo skewers, or for our indoor purposes today, seared on a cast iron skillet. Chicken sauté here in the States is fairly popular as a small bite appetizer, most often iconically paired with a peanut-based dipping sauce. Now, right off the bat, before folks lose their minds, I'll first address that sauté skewers come from many different cultural cuisines, though generally broadly originating from Southeast Asian culture, so I understand that the elements that we incorporate here today may not exactly match how you remember your grandma making sauté, which, that's okay too. That said, for our version today, we'll be incorporating a handful of ingredients that I do think leans pretty heavily into Thai cuisine, namely with a bit of lemongrass, palm sugar, and red curry paste to top it all off. As you might imagine, the grilling process to our skewers is not too complicated. Probably the trickiest part is going to be about figuring out how to grill a skewer without a grill. Finally, to round this off, we're also going to pair our skewers with a quick brined cucumber salad for a nice crisp side because, you can't just eat sticks of meat for dinner, right? Right? Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so diving right in, we're starting things off today with some aromatic veggies, which are going to be appearing in both our marinade as well as our cucumber salad. So bear with me because this means that we're going to be assembling our marinade and our cucumber salad at the same time today. So up here first is 8 cloves of garlic, half of which we're crushing and mincing, then setting aside for our cucumber salad. Then next we're taking the remaining 4 cloves of our garlic and simply crushing them and tossing into our food processor for our marinade. Next up, rounding out the veggies in our marinade, this is 1 inch of ginger that I'm peeling with a spoon before tossing into my food processor, followed next by a single stalk of lemongrass. Lemongrass is one of the more iconic aromatics from Southeast Asian cuisine, and you'll see it come up in a lot of dishes of Thai, Vietnamese, and Singaporean culture, to name a few. The majority of our stalk, however, is too tough to eat, so we're peeling the stalk until we reach its more tender core, which we're rough chopping and tossing into our food processor as well. Finally, last up for our aromatics is a single shallot, also rough chopped, then added to our marinade mixture to be blended up in a moment. Before we do so, however, we're shifting gears to our salad and slicing up a second shallot for our cucumber salad coming up. This second shallot is going to be eaten raw, so I'm paying a little bit more attention to the quality of my slice this time, so that we don't end up with big chunks of shallot in our salad. Moving right along here, next up is 3 Persian cucumbers that I'm removing the tip and tail ends from, then slicing up into coins before adding to my mixing bowl along with my garlic. Then rounding out our salad today, we're going to add a handful of acids to aid in our quick brine. This is the juice of a quarter of a lime plus a single tablespoon of rice vinegar to start, followed finally by a single tablespoon of fish sauce, a tablespoon of white sugar, and a pinch of kosher salt. We're mixing this to combine and setting it aside for 30 minutes while we circle back to our chicken marinade next. Okay, so circling back to our marinade here after that quick digression, I've got my food processor out, which I'm adding another quarter of a lime to start, followed next by our umami. This is 4 tablespoons of soy sauce and a single tablespoon of fish sauce to round it out. Then next, I've got a single tablespoon of palm sugar that I'm adding to round out our sweeter elements today. Palm sugar has a malted sweet quality to it that's a little bit less sweet than your more standard white sugar, which I love. If you can't find this stuff though, brown sugar will also do just fine too. I'm rounding this out with what ended up being 3/4 cup of coconut milk to start, followed by a half teaspoon each of turmeric and cumin powder. Then finally, rounding out this absolutely massive concoction of ingredients is a single tablespoon of red curry paste, which we're using a little bit of camera magic to blend up into a paste because my food processor doesn't fit in frame. Now, for those looking for shortcuts, which I'm always a fan of, by the way, red curry paste most often includes pretty much everything that we just added to this marinade, depending on which paste that you use. So if you wanted to, you could just use curry paste plus a little bit of water, although I do think that the addition of fresh ingredients like what we've used here makes for a more potent marinade. This does mean though that if you can't find everything that we've used, red curry paste is here to save the day. In any case, here's the remainder of my coconut milk going in that I decided to add at the last minute. Then next, I'm removing a half cup of my marinade for our peanut dipping sauce. I'm combining this reserved marinade with 8 tablespoons or a half cup of peanut butter, followed by another quarter of a lime and a quarter cup of boiling water to help this all break down as I whisk that peanut butter to combine. Alright, so moving on to our chicken finally, I've got 4 medium chicken thighs on my cutting board today that I'm dicing into fairly large pieces of about an inch or so each. We've got to fit these onto skewers later on, so don't go too small on that dice or else they're gonna fall off later on. I'm adding my chicken to a Ziploc bag here, then combining with the remainder of my marinade and refrigerating for 30 minutes or ideally overnight, depending on how hungry you are, I guess. In any case, once we're done waiting, I'm adding my chicken to some bamboo skewers here, being careful to space these out evenly across the skewer because if our chicken is bunched up too close, we're gonna have trouble getting these to cook evenly. Now, at this point, if you are grilling over an open flame, I would also recommend soaking your skewers in cold water for at least 30 minutes as well. This is gonna help prevent the skewer from burning up over the flame. For our purposes today, we're going to be doing a skillet fry because I don't own a grill, so it's not going to matter for our purposes too much. Over on the stove, I have my cast iron skillet heating up over medium heat today. We're using the skillet in lieu of the wok sear that we more often would do so that we may take advantage of this nice flat surface for our skewers. I'm adding 4 tablespoons of peanut oil and searing my skewers 2 at a time for about 2 to 4 minutes per side until nice and crispy and 160 degrees F internal. Then next, back over on the cutting board, I'm serving my skewers up with a side of rice to start, followed by my cucumber salad, a bit of my peanut sauce, and we're ready to eat. Okay, so I'll start off by mentioning that I immediately rescind my previous statement. If you want to, you can absolutely eat a bunch of meat sticks for dinner. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. That said, I do think that the addition of our cucumber salad is a nice crisp and refreshing complement to the bold and savory qualities of our skewers, particularly when paired with our peanut dipping sauce. Then our chicken has a nice crisp sear to it from our skillet fry, with a tender bite on its interior thanks to the skewer that it was cooked on. To be absolutely honest, I've never been a huge fan of indoor solutions to outdoor grilling without a grill, just because they always seem to fall short in some way or another. Now, I'm not saying that our skillet fry is a perfect replication of an open flame grill. I think there's definitely a bit of smokiness that's missing, especially without the wok hay that we would normally get from wok sears, but in a pinch on a rainy day in a tiny apartment, this is definitely good enough for me. Okay, so that's it everyone. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you give this one a shot. For those who are new to the channel, this one is part of a larger series that we've been doing that's dedicated to Thai cuisine, so definitely check out that series next if you haven't yet because there's a lot of these. For the Bay Area locals, the Woo Can Cook fried rice pop-up is at Wondrous Brewing in Emeryville every Thursday through Sunday, so come by and say hi if you can. More about that at woocancook.com/eats. Also, if you didn't catch it, we've got t-shirts. I'm super excited to be partnering with my good friends at Pollywog Prints to make these super sweet Woo Can Cook shirts. They're super soft and comfortable, and also there's a picture of me on the back, which is crazy. We're selling these at the Woo Can Cook pop-up, or you can head over to woocancook.com/shop to grab one from the online store too. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, be nice interneters, and I'll see you soon.